This is Richard with BWE Firearms, and today we're going to look at Rewelding an Uzi Trunnion. And this customer's gun, if you can see these little welds on the trunnion, they are not big enough and they are not deep enough. This is a Group Industries gun. And if you see one like this, Group Industries had a welder who kind of didn't know what he was doing. These will come loose. So anytime I get one of these in the shop, I go through and cut the welds out and re-weld it. So we are going to cut the welds out and then re-weld it and make sure it's all aligned. So you stay tuned and we'll be right back. Okay, I am ready to cut these welds out. Now I cheat because I've got a 4th axis on my mill. So I've got the a junk barrel that I've got chucked up in the 4th axis. I've got my 3/16 inch end mill. Sometimes I use a 1/4 depending on what I'm doing and how the welds are. This one I can use a 3/16. I'll plunge in 80 thousandths. The steel is, the receiver is 75 thousandths thick. I'll plunge in 80 thousandths and then turn the 4th axis to cut the welds out. So let's have at it. And there you are, the welds cut nice and pretty. Now I just got to blast this and weld it all back together. Okay, here we've got the jig. And this is actually a stockmaker's clamp that I made in gunsmith school. This, and then I made a bushing that threads onto the trunnion so I can get a good clean bite on the trunnion when I put it in the jig. So now you can see it all ready to go, and let's get to welding. All right, now that I've gotten a little nap and a cup of coffee, because that damn cancer and the diabetes kind of knocks me out sometimes in the afternoon, so take a little nap and get a little refreshed, and I'm back at it. I've got the Uzi receiver in the jig, and we're all ready to weld her up. So here we go. All right, let's get at it. I'm going to give myself a little more juice too. Get a little more power to get the penetration into the trunnion. The rod I'm using is just mild steel rod, because these receivers are made out of 1010 steel, and the trunnion and all the weld-in parts are 1018. So it's all just mild steel. So you don't need S7 rod or anything. let's get this next one. And then I keep sticking my rod in my electrode. But that should be enough weld on there. You want to get enough weld on there. One, you want to get penetration into the trunnion. That's the most important thing. But then you want to get enough weld in there on the top so you can grind it off and make it look pretty. All right. On to the next one. Pretty. Enough weld, but not too much over the top, so there's not a whole lot of grinding. You know, ideally, you get it perfect every time, but I usually never do. Alright, set that piece there. Weld this final hole up. And then we do a little adjustment if we need to. She's all welded up. We'll come back to that, clean it up, and align everything, and we'll be good to go. Alright, next step in this trunnion is to grind these welds down and make them kind of pretty. We're just using a 2-inch grinding wheel on an air grinder. Now we'll see what the gauges tell us. So I slipped my trunnion alignment bar in there. And here's my gauge block. And that is not gauging right. The barrel is sitting like this. Just a smidge. So I put my cut-off barrel in there. And this is highly precise. This is high precision. Better, still needs to come up more. That really hurts now with the neuropathy. I'm going to have to start wearing my welding gloves when I do that, I think. Almost there. I think it's because I'm doing it over here where the bench bounces a little more than there in the corner, but I can't do it there in the corner because the camera's there. But I need to put these on because this is really hurting my hands. This neuropathy is really starting to become a problem. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to keep working with. with it. That looks like it's got it. See the little pin? That's right in the middle. So that should be good. Okay, barrel slips right in. Barrel nut goes on. And if you sight right down there, the barrel lines up with this hole. You can use this hole to, if you look down there and the barrel is straight, and you look through that, everything should line up there. But that's it. That's welding in a trunnion and adjusting it. That is rewelding a trunnion in a nutshell. And I forgot to mention, when adjusting the trunnion, one, I've had a lot of experience. You know, I've adjusted so many trunnions, you know, I've got a feel for it. I wouldn't exactly recommend somebody just go smashing their barrel against, you know, against a bench to align it. The other thing is, I'm using a junk barrel. I don't use a regular barrel because you don't want to bend the barrel. But I will say, I have occasionally had people out at the range during matches or something. For one reason or another, their trunnion gets out of alignment. And, you know, it happens. They're sheet metal guns. And I've adjusted people's guns at the range, and it's funny as shit to look at the expression on their face when I take their $15,000 Uzi and smash the freaking barrel against a post or something to get the barrel into the trunnion into alignment. You know, that's funny as shit. And that's about it on the trunnions. I mean, there's not much to it, but you know, you do need to make sure it's aligned, and you can sight down the stock hole on full-size Uzis. You can't do it on minis because there's no freaking hole. This is Richard with BWE Firearms, and I hope you like and enjoyed this video and learned something along the way. With this year, 2021, with me getting stage 4 colon cancer, diabetes, and neuropathy in my hands and feet, it's getting harder and harder to work. And I have come to realize my own mortality. Because of that, I realized that if I don't get this information out of my head and into videos or into other people's heads, I will take it to the grave with me, and that does nobody any good at all. If you would, please like, share, subscribe, and comment to the video. It helps me with the algorithms. And if you would like to support my efforts in doing these videos, please go to my website, bwefirearms.com, and in my shopping cart, I have an item in there where you can donate money to my efforts. And 97% of the money will go directly to me doing these videos. 3%, of course, will go to the credit card company. I will, take $1. I will take $1,000. Whatever you feel like donating, I would greatly appreciate it, and it will help me get this stuff done. You have a nice day, and we will see you in the next video.